Hello from Thailand. It's a lovely hot day. Well, let's skip the lovely, shall we? It's got a current humidity of 82 here in Kampang Phet, so I'm a little bit sweaty. I've got my posh frock on today because we're talking about visas, and this is my go-to visa outfit when I'm trying to get my annual renewal. So it always evokes quite a lot of emotion and some negative between us expats on some of the hoops that we have to jump through to get and to also maintain our visa status out here in Thailand. So I want to talk about that. I was specifically asked by one of you viewers in the comment section. They also asked to cover about the language barrier in Thailand. That's going to be in the next video that I'm going to do a sit down one. Probably won't have my sweaty frock on for that though. So I'm also going to throw into the equation the 90-day reporting and maybe a few other bits and bobs. So first off, stick your hand up if you quite like the visa process here in Thailand. No, it's not great, is it? Some people get a little bit excited about it, don't they though? And I think go a little bit too far in you know what they say. I always try to bear in mind that I'm in someone else's country, and it's their laws, it's their rules, and they can run the country how they like. And yeah, I know they may change and do change the hoops that we do have to jump through, but by and large the bare bones of what we have to comply with and provide, it doesn't change that much. So let's be realistic about it. Well, I think it doesn't change an awful lot. So if it's a shock to your system when you're here, have we got ourselves to blame, really? You know, have we not researched it as deeply as we should have done before we came here? You'd be like, oh bloody, I've got to do this and do that. Well, you know, if you're going to go and live in another country, you should learn about that before you even jump on the plane. Yes, you could say, well, I learnt everything, Lee, but once I got here, they keep changing the goalposts, and now I've got to provide this, now I've got to have this money, now I've got to have insurance and all that sort of thing. That is true, but what about why they're doing it? Why is Thai immigration getting a bad rap when they could be doing it for the right reasons? They might not be doing it for the right reasons, you know, in some people's eyes, but I think there's a possibility that they're streamlining things, and things like the 90-day reports, you know, they like to keep tabs on where we are. Now, I come from good old Blighty. A lot of people that are still in Blighty, and me included while I was out, I've tended to drop the good now. There's all sorts of Herberts in the UK. And the government haven't got a foggiest who they are, never mind where they are and what they're up to. So, you know, and generally Herberts don't like to stay in their country of origin. They like to go and be a Herbert in another country. They think, oh, they don't know this scam that I'm up to. They don't know my background. I'll go and start afresh over there and get up to whatever I do. So, you know, their phrase, bad guys out and good guys in. I think it's brilliant. If our government in the UK had come out with something like that, or the immigration had come out with something like that, you'd be like, flipping brilliant. Is it a sledgehammer to crack a nut? I don't know. No, I don't think so. You may well disagree with that. You got to report that you know, when you go out of your province and stay somewhere else for a day or a week or whatever. That may seem a little bit over the top. Yeah, I give you that. But what about if you took advantage of that, turn it into a positive rather than, you know, a ball ache of being accountable where you are? What about if something happens to you? What about if you, like, I know there's a lot of you who are into your motorbikes and touring in Thailand. Well, you're not going to tour through the big cities, are you? I would imagine. So you could be out in the middle of nowhere getting on these twisty roads and all that sort of thing, and maybe camping and that. And who's to say you don't have an accident? Some Herbert doesn't get hold of you. You have some altercations with someone. Anything could potentially happen. And for you to have given the Thai immigration that paper trail, so to speak, of where you are, I think that's a a good thing. Okay, so on to the main thing about visas then. Just for the record, proud to say I'm not old enough to get a retirement visa out of here in Thailand, but I'm in November. Would I like a retirement visa? Yes. Is it going to happen? Not this year. It's just the financial requirement. Well, there you go, Lee. You got 800,000 baht in a Thai bank, and it's just got to sit there, and they're going to take all the interest off it. Well, yeah, I would like it, but I've got 400,000 in a bank, and it just means that I have to provide a little bit more documentation to get my marriage visa. Is it an enjoyable thing that I have to do? No. Is it okay? Yeah, it's fine, no problem. Do we get a few things wrong now and again? Well, Thai immigration do like to tweak things, and sometimes it's the flavour of the year. Well, this year we would like your photos a little bit more zoomed out so we can see more of your house. And this year we want this, and this month we want that. And can we have it all in this order? It's not a problem, is it? Well, we could look at them as problems, but I would say it's nitpicky, but not in a really bad way. Oh, I've got to have so many bloody photocopies of this and this and this. Why do they need this? Why do they need that? It's their rules. If we don't like it, we know what the option is. We can just jog on and go back home, or go to another country that isn't quite so, you know, heavy on the documentation side. Does this, let's call it the paper trail documentation that's required, you know, if we see it as a ball ache, as some of us do for sure, does that put some people off coming to Thailand? It may well do. I don't know. Would it have put me off? No. It was a lot flipping harder to get to go to the UK paperwork wise than me coming this way. Flipping heck. And that was back in the day, 15 years ago. It's a damn sight harder and a damn sight more expensive than it is now. I was only talking to a Welsh guy last week about this. Now I know what you're thinking, Lee, what the hell are you doing talking to a Welshman? I don't know. But it was all right. It was almost like a human being. Sorry, Nigel, couldn't resist that. And it was like about 12.5 grand to get his missus over there. Yeah, it was nowhere near like that before. So I don't think if you're going to live in another country, it should be super, super easy. You know, I think there should be some degree of effort on our behalf and some degree of financial, what could we say on that? It's a difficult one. I've gone in a one-way street here. I need to find a word, don't I? A financial requirement. Yeah, it's some sort of sacrifice financially. It's got to hit you in the wallet, otherwise any old Herbert would be coming out here. And for those that are still, you know, very, very anti it, are some of us to blame? You know, I've been coming out to Thailand for many, many years, and some of them weren't my greatest moments, but I'm not sure. I think I wasn't doing anything illegal, but there's plenty of people out here that aren't doing a great service for themselves or to Thailand while they're here, and I don't think it should be easy. The less of us are out here, the better. There's even places, and this is the sad thing, there's even places in the UK, let's niche it down to Peterborough, where I spent the majority of my life in the UK. And unfortunately, my mum still lives there, and I say unfortunately because there's now no-go areas in Peterborough. And I don't mean you're not allowed to go there because the police say, excuse me, I'm not going to cut that out. There's not areas that the police say you're not allowed to go there. The police will probably say it's not a good idea to go there, fella, because we don't even go there. How is that? It is all ethnic minorities. It used to be just the gypsy camps in the UK that the police wouldn't go to unless they had about 50, honestly. But now there's certain areas, and I won't mention the countries that have created ghettos. Hey, you can't get that. I can't see that happening in Thailand, can you? That's got to be a good thing. Yeah? This ghetto culture. I can't ever see a bunch of Brit expats taking over Pattaya, can you? Although it seems like it when you watch some vlogs. Well, there's something, isn't it? A little bit of a tangent for you. Have you noticed how many Thai, let's put the quotation marks in there, Thai vlogging channels? There's not so many walking up and down Walking Street now, is there? It's got to be a good thing. What I've done for just you is created a designated playlist for this particular video. There's other things in there like visa renewal, working in Thailand or not working in Thailand. It covers things like misconceptions and that sort of things and how things are applied. But of course it's good if we have a good understanding or a resource of the proper legal jargon. So I've put a video in there that will link you to the YouTube channel. I think it's Integrity Legal or Integral. It's an American fella called Benjamin. He's an attorney in Bangkok. Has half an hour free initial consultation, and he releases his content most days. So I think he comes across very well. A lot of these legal professionals aren't very easy to understand, but he talks our language. The other thing, the other channel that I've linked to in the playlist as well, is a company that helps you understand the actual current implication of changes that are going on in Thailand, and that's the Thaiger. That's a very, very good news channel. Again, it's every day just about releasing content on, you know, some of the things that have been changed in Thailand that we should be aware of, but then gives you real life examples of actually what's going on, you know. So it's a great one for keeping up to date with COVID and such things. Next video will be how to cope in Thailand when you can't speak a word of Thai. Or maybe you just understand nit noi.